In JRPG history, there's been a few main characters that always felt like the wrong choice. For many different reasons, they were awful, dumb, lame, annoying, or uninteresting. Today, I want to show you my 10 personal picks for the worst protagonists in JRPGs. So let's begin! Number 10. Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This is one of those games that are great, but weird at the same time. It's like the writing went into a completely different direction as opposed to any other Xeno game in existence. Rex makes it all the more lame, to be honest. I greatly enjoy this RPG, but it sure wasn't because of Rex. He's the classic, generic power of friendship harem guy. That will be okay in a lot of other JRPGs, just not in a Xeno game. He is not the worst, which is why he's only number 10. But I can't get over the fact that the mastermind of Tetsuya Takahashi allowed such a useless and dull protagonist that looks like a freaking 12-year-old kid. His voice actor in Japanese matches, which makes sense, but in English, oh boy, the brat sounds like he's on his 30s. Is he some kind of male loli or something? Yeah, that was dumb. I don't know, I'm just being as dumb as he is, since his stupidity is contagious. Number 9. Avon from Valkyria Chronicles 2. At first, I didn't want to include this guy because I thought he wasn't that bad. At least not when I first beat the game years ago. Then I streamed it recently and all of those green memories returned. Avon just had to be here since he is the epitome of the male airhead cliché. His stupidity knows no bounds, nor does his extremely awkward big bro complex. His constant laughter between dialogues is the worst. Avon is nothing but the perfect example of his stereotype, multiplied by 10 in the most annoying way possible. What bothers me the most is that the game itself feels as if it was written and developed by a different company. I mean, the first one was a masterpiece and its characters were amazing. They balanced the clichés at the very least. In its sequel, gameplay remained cool, but the new cast of characters was a total joke. I can't believe they decided to turn this dumbass into the main character. What were they thinking? Number 8. Meru from Atelier Meru. The Atelier games are known for being colorful, charismatic, and shiny. All of their female protagonists seem to be a simplistic variation of the same character. So being a dumb, clumsy woman is probably considered as a recyclable stereotype. It's okay though, it's not like they annoy me to the point of rage quit. With Meru, however, I lived through a facepalm-worthy experience the entire game. I beat it and I still can't explain myself how I did it. How I managed to pull through this rebellious wannabe sparkling princess's quest is beyond me. Her whole journey drags on to prove her father that she can be a proper alchemist. That and obviously improve the kingdom with such powers. The problem is her stupid ass personality. Obnoxious, ridiculous, and just plain hateful. I never really cared about all the other girls in the series, but somehow Meru managed to get on my nerves. It's like the developers were saying, hey, this is my RPG series about dumb characters, so here's the dumbest of them all. Number 7. Max from Shining Force Neo. Max is technically Avon 2.0, although this game came out before Valkyria Chronicles 2. Anyway, just take nearly everything I spoke about that guy before and add just a little bit more. Max makes me have some small respect for Avon. He's just an explosion of idiocy all over the game. Avon never, and I mean never, made me quit the game, but Max fucking did! Of course, Shining Force Neo being brutally unbalanced and very generic in some areas contributed to it. But that was just the tip of the iceberg, man. Max's personality sank my damn ship into the bottom of the ocean. He's every single adjective associated with stupid you can imagine. His enthusiasm is not contagious, as it only improves his immaturity, all on his quest to become a hero and save the world. Plus, I don't know, there's something about his face that rubs me the wrong way. I guess he's just the type of guy who not only is dumb, but also looks dumb. Number 6. Sieg from Suikoden Tear Cries. You know, you can name this imbecile however you want, but I read somewhere that his canon name was Sieg. But does it matter? There's no reason to worry about this punk's real name, as he is one of the worst protagonists ever made. As much as I love the Suikoden series, and as much as I consider this game underrated, I gotta admit one thing. If anybody ever quits on it because of Sieg, I have nothing but empathy. Join the club of gamers who cringed the entire fucking game with this guy's clowny shenanigans. He's beyond boastful and energetic. It's like he has this compulsive bipolar personality that makes him talk and act really fast. I don't even understand how the voice actor nailed it so good impersonating him, so it became one of the worst voice acting in video games, mainly because of Sieg. His reckless, childish demeanor is far from funny most of the time. His jokes are outdated, or too awkward, or just plain silly but in a bad way. Plus, he's a mediocre unit in battle until like halfway through in the game. Sieg almost ruined Suikoden Tear Cries for me, but fortunately my love for the series made me prevail. Number 5. Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2. Remember the sweet, calm, and lovely Yuna from Final Fantasy X? Well, I confess I never get two shits about her. But she was okay, not annoying, just kinda there. Nothing against her. I always thought she was a fairly interesting character. I don't know why the writers were pretty convinced turning her into a pussy fart idol in the sequel was a good idea. Not only did they change her personality, but almost made me feel as if she was a completely different character. I can't say much since I've never beaten this trash, nor do I have any plans to do it one day. Maybe she redeems herself at some point? But honestly, I couldn't care less. Way to go, Square Enix, to ruin a character most people loved in the original. At least the dull and boring priestess there was more entertaining than your stupid-ass sexualized Britney Spears clone. Number 4. Fidel from Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness. I have absolutely nothing to say about this character. Nothing at all. Number 3. Okay, let's go back. Wanna know why? Because there's nothing to say about him. He has zero personality, barely speaks reasonably, and you never, not a single frigging time, care one bit about him. I have no idea why this guy exists in this game in the first place. Why Trias decided to make him the main character when all the story revolves around every other character in the game? Fidel is just there, non-existent, with no purpose whatsoever than to be a playable unit. Is he any good? Well, yeah, that's a different story. He pulls his own weight, I guess, but I literally feel the story would have been exactly the same without him. They could have at least made him annoying or hateful or dumb. That way, at the very least, I could properly bitch about him. But nope, Fidel was developed as nothing more than to be a face in the crowd. So yeah, like I said, nothing to say about him. Let's just move on. Number 3. Male Corrin from Fire Emblem Fates. We're back with whiny, weak-ass characters that spend the entire game feeling sorry. Oh, that's right, we haven't even seen anyone like that so far. Maybe because it's such a bad idea to make your character like that. But not Emil, I mean, no, he's fine. The male version of Corrin is a joke of a main character, and I'll tell you why. When he's in a normal mood, he's just like Fidel. There's nothing to say about a generic personality with no traits at all. That's how he behaves half of the time. The other half, he's just stressed, trying to reason with his over-the-top stereotype family, whining, lamenting, crying. For some reason, I always felt the female Corrin did it better. They have the exact same dialogue and personality, but it does feel like she's prepared to face the ordeal or do something about it. Male Corrin, however, is a depressing young man with low self-esteem and no will whatsoever. Well, at least the power of friendship gives him purpose somewhere in the Fire Emblem Fates pathetic plot. But that doesn't change the fact he's one of the worst protagonists in the series and in all the genre. Number 2. Titus from Final Fantasy X. Yeah, now we're talking. My man Titus is an extremely annoying character that I just love to bitch about. He has a personality, alright, a horrible one by the way. Titus is the enthusiastic, noisy type of guy, but balanced in a way. His backstreet boy looks, however, always seem to say otherwise. When he tries to be cool, he ends up embarrassing himself, like badly. When he's sad, it's hard to take him seriously, you don't even believe him. When he's happy, well, he's cringe-worthy. And when he's trying to be funny... yeah, you get the idea. One of the worst characteristics of this dude is the sport he practices. The Blitzball is a loved or hated mechanic in Final Fantasy X, but I've never seen a single soccer, football or whatever player trying so damn hard to look cool more than Titus himself. He's the king of stupidity and his imbecilic behavior turns the whole story into a joke. How can I take this game seriously when a guy like this leads the party? I really tried because some scenes were touchy, edgy, sad, dark and interesting, but somehow Titus always managed to ruin every single one of them. Number 1. Van from Final Fantasy XII. Take Fidel from Star Ocean for instance. Imagine if there could ever be a character far worse than him in terms of personality and existence. Meet Van, the eternal meme of the entire series. The guy who told the world that main characters in RPGs can be surprisingly, completely and utterly irrelevant in their own story. Final Fantasy XII has a very interesting and controversial backstory. Basically, the guy who created the Ogre Battle series, Yasumi Matsuno, also behind Tactics Ogre and Final Fantasy Tactics, initially wrote the script of this game. Without Van, let me emphasize that. Bash and Ash were going to be the two main characters into an epic adventure in the world of Ivalice. Halfway through development though, Matsuno realized Square Enix sucks ass and rage quit the company. Okay, maybe he didn't rage quit, but you get the idea. So the remaining team decided to create this clusterfuck of a forgettable trash to appeal to younger audiences. Cause you know who the hell will want to play as a cool, mature, intelligent and highly interesting character like Bosch, right? Well, he and Ash still ended up being the protagonists cause Van just stopped having a real, justifiable purpose after the first hours. There was no other reason to keep him or his friend Penelo in the game anymore. Van is the absolute worst JRPG protagonist because he just doesn't fit in anything that happens plot-wise. He's just there, just fucking there. You sometimes forget he even exists. Often I believe he was just part of my imagination or that I was delusional. Why is he even there? Why couldn't they give him a true purpose instead of just forcing it with irrelevant subplots? Van is a disgrace in the Final Fantasy series and a felony against all role-playing games in existence. He's also dumb and I don't like him.
How old were you again? Nice fun.
Surprisingly rude.
Try to grow up, please.